Welcome to Jamie and Stephanie of the Ugly Truth. I've got to come up with a better way to intro these mini episodes. But we're here to talk about the Top Chef finale for season 20.
Yay, swing.
Swing. Yeah, that's going to be your thing.
Swing.
Okay, so this is a spoiler. We don't hide spoiler alert.
Yeah.
This is it. We talk about everything. We don't care. We assume you've watched it and you're just listening to us talk about what we think.
It's way over, by the way.
Well, yeah, but we have
So
to.
if you haven't watched it at this point, I really don't feel sorry for you.
If you haven't watched at this point, listen to this and you'll just know. So when people talk about it at work, you're like, oh, yeah, Buddha won. I remember. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So it's Gabri, Sarah, and Buddha. Mm-hmm. They were the top 3 finalists.
Yes.
I don't know how to
finalists.
Vaginal cream. Yeah, exactly. The finalists. And, you know, for me, you and I, we saw this weeks ago. We thought it was going to be a Sarah Buddha showdown.
Right.
And it was.
It was.
Gabri was there.
He was.
He was there. He gave them a tostada, and it was fine. They did like a lot of his flavors, though, and they did appreciate his efforts. It wasn't like, but I mean, it was clear he was not going to. He didn't even like complete one of his dishes.
It was pretty clear to me from the beginning that Sarah wasn't going to win either. She made some mistakes.
Dude, I think she self-sabotaged.
Maybe.
I legitimately do.
Maybe she succumbed to the pressure.
I think that she sabotaged that liver dish.
Right.
And
that's how I knew. When they were in but I have seen.
She got real casual with the liver. She's like, yeah, it's fine.
It'll work. Like, no, if they don't have the main ingredient, then you change the dish.
She refused.
And she's just like, no, like this.
She's like, no, I can make this work. And instead go ahead.
No, I'm reliving it, and I'm like, and then to cook it, and then have it raw.
Stephanie.
I mean, she didn't undercook or overcook anything the entire season.
I know.
Maybe some of her flavors or her execution wasn't on point from time to time, but she didn't fuck up anything that bad. And then she waits till the finale to serve raw liver. I'm like, really?
If she had done that in round 1, she would have been gone.
Gone.
So to me, I personally, after watching everything I saw and reviewing the show, I felt like she dropped the ball subconsciously.
Yeah.
I think that she subconsciously sabotaged herself.
Just couldn't let herself win.
I just don't know why, because she absolutely could have.
Totally.
And a lot of people are like, they just handed it to Buddha. No, they didn't. He deserved it.
Yeah, he did.
He was flawless.
He was the whole season.
Yes.
I can't think of a time where he ever made any really bad mistakes.
He never
even came close to going home.
There was a big debate about how they felt. People were like, well, Sarah should have won because it was the best composed dish for, you know, that specific setting, the finale dish. But the problem is that I think that they were so blown away by her flavors, and they just absolutely could not hand her the trophy with that crappy liver.
Well, no, they can't.
And it seemed to me that they were debating it.
Well, had Buddha made a mistake, she might have been able to pull it off, but he didn't. He was perfect,
and I don't think she deserved the win.
I don't either, honestly.
Because I mean, she absolutely got way too casual with that stuff. Unfortunately, I think she's absolutely just as good as Buddha.
Me too.
And
they're very different.
Oh my God, so different. And then there was some debate about, oh, she didn't even congratulate him. And I'm like, yeah, she did. The second he won, she literally put her hand on his back and congratulated him.
Yeah, and by the way,
I'm done with the drama.
I'm over it. There is no drama.
No, they're chefs. They're not. Yeah. This is not a fucking
It's completely
Vanderpump
professional.
Rules.
Yeah. Nope. I think
just people going, and they were also impressed with each other the entire season.
I mean, because every single one of those chefs, that's what I loved about this World Series.
Me too.
Theme that they did is that they were all so amazing.
Yeah, and they all were learning from each other the whole time.
With the exception of Dawn, who didn't belong there, if you're listening to producers, because I know you listen to The Ugly Truth.
We all know.
Yes. Who was thinking, why?
Because I think...
Was she supposed to be an underdog that maybe would have gone farther than expected?
I think it was one of the things where they said, you know, she got a couple of bad breaks on her season, and so let's bring her back and let her redeem herself.
She sucked on her season.
Was terrible. She was terrible. The fact that she got to the top 3 on her season was a joke. We all agree.
Here's the thing. The one good thing about her being on this season was that they will never bring her back again.
Please, no, don't.
Yeah, unless they're going to do like the dud issue, you know, where it's like let's bring back all the crappy chefs and see how they do. It's like the Special Olympics of Top Chef.
Yes.
Come on.
Welcome to Top Chef. wah, wah.
I know.
Starring Dawn Gabri. And it's like, okay.
Okay, not Gabri, though.
Francois, whoever.
He made it far.
He did.
He made it to the finale.
Honestly, I think that he could have been anybody, Stephanie. Let's be honest.
Maybe.
It was a Buddha Sarah show. It just was. It could have been Amar. It could have been Sherbal. It could have been all of them.
I kind of wish it would have been Sherbal at this point.
God.
I think he would have done well.
I keep wanting to say gerbil. I know it's not that.
Gerbil.
I know it's Sherbal or Sherbal or Sharbal. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. It's over.
He was great.
Anyway, so so the aftermath of the finale, Buddha winning, he announced almost immediately that his wife is pregnant with twins.
Right.
I'm so excited for him.
Super exciting. I wonder how much long he's going to work for Huso on Marquis.
I thought I read that he is putting together his own restaurant.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he should.
He's won $1 million in the last year and a half.
And then I saw there was a big cooking wine thing in Colorado, and I can't remember the name.
The Aspen Food and Wine
Yes,
Festival.
it's a big deal.
Part of the prize that they get for winning Top Chef.
You're correct.
Right?
And so he was there. He said the first time I was invited to do one of these, 3 people showed up, and one of them was my wife. He goes, this time there was lines, like people couldn't get in. He goes, I can't even believe it. My mind is like, and I'm like,
he's famous now.
He absolutely deserves everything he's getting. I'm so excited for him. I'm excited for all the chefs that participated, to be honest.
None of them will come out of it with a bad deal.
No, in fact,
will all get notoriety, and
they'll be able to open a restaurant. They'll have a social media presence.
Absolutely.
You know, hopefully
they all do.
They can write a book.
I follow chefs on Instagram that were on
so many
10 seasons ago, 15 seasons ago, and they are still well known and participate in all kinds of food events and all kinds of stuff. So.
Because it's really, I think it's just so hard to make a name for yourself in the culinary world. So if you can, it's a big deal.
And not only that, but this whole celebrity chef thing is, it's a thing, you know?
Well, and here's the other thing that I've noticed. It's time to retire some of the chef veterans.
Oh,
and we need some new faces and names in the culinary world.
We're all over Giada and Bobby. Over them, and they know it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Although Bobby just said the other day, I'm here to stay on Food Network.
He's got such an ego.
I don't hate him.
I don't hate him either. I think he's cute. He's the only ginger that I would ever consider.
Agreed.
Other than, literally the only.
I think he minimizes his red hair too. I think he puts a little color in it so he doesn't look super gingery.
It's a little browner.
Yes, it's more on the brown, auburny side.
Yes, for sure.
I know.
He's a well-seasoned television guy now at this point. Much. You know, I mean, all his restaurants are like chains and stuff now. I mean, he's not.
Yes.
I think he was a serious chef at one point, but.
Yeah, probably.
But I think
he's big. You know, his Southwestern is where he's really at.
Right.
Now he's doing Italian. Anyway, I digress.
He can do whatever he wants.
But the Top Chef world does create some amazing celeb chefs that are legit. And
well, we're not too far off, even though we were talking about Food Network. I mean,
they
60% of those people were on Top Chef.
Yeah, they intermingle.
Antonia Lafonza, she was on like 3 seasons of Top Chef.
I love Antonia.
She never won.
I know.
And that's why she's like, screw you, I'm going to Food Network where the money is.
And she didn't win there either, but that's okay. I really like her. And I just,
obviously,
I like her passion.
I just love her, period. She's hilarious.
She is hilarious.
So
I agree. So the other thing is,
and she's from LA.
So Sarah, Chef Sarah, she's really pushing her presence on social media, on TikTok. And obviously I'm in this on the Reddit. I love the Top Chef Reddit. And so a couple of people on Reddit who are fans of Sarah, and Sarah does troll the Top Chef.
She?
Oh, yes. And so she never comments on other chefs or anything. She only talks about herself. When somebody, responds to what somebody might say. And nobody really talks shit about Sarah.
There's nothing to say. She's non-controversial in any way.
Although some people thought she was kind of a bitch. And I'm like, why?
Why? Because she's a boss?
Because she's a woman?
Yes.
She's aggressive?
Thank you.
Get over it. I mean, I know, not personally, but through my child, I know how hard they are on women in kitchens, especially at the top level kitchens. Yep. My daughter's worked at several Michelin star restaurants, and they are horrible to women.
They are. Yep.
Horrible.
I know.
Anyway.
Because no matter what you do, it's not as good enough. You're a bitch.
And you know what? They're better than most of the men in that kitchen.
Agreed.
Because they work twice as hard, and they're more perfectionists.
Absolutely.
Anyway, a couple of women or people made the pea cake that people were just blown away by on her finale dish.
Oh, yeah.
The one that her mom made.
Yeah.
And it never even occurred to me to use peas.
Me either, but they are sweet.
Very sweet.
And they're pretty colored.
So a couple of people said, hey, I made the pea cake and it was so delicious. It was light, blah, blah, blah. And she commented on both. She goes, you made it perfectly. It's light. You can tell that it's not too heavy because that's a really big thing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that is awesome.
That she would go on
That
here.
she would go on and comment on other people making the pea cake. And they're like, girl, please make this a thing so that people can experience
Totally.
this. But it's a delicate process.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I mean, I want to try it.
I would too. You can make it or have your daughter make it.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to tell Kenzie to make it. I'm like, Mackenzie, make this pea cake.
Or you know what? I mean, that must be so fun to be somebody like Mackenzie because you can see something on and get an idea and then get inspired to do something like totally crazy that, like vegetables in a cake. Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, carrot cake is
that's true.
A sweet, and she puts like zucchini and shit in hers, and it's good. Anyway, I really love this season.
I did too. I'm sad it's over.
I am sad too. And of course, now it's going to be completely different. We have no idea what it's going to look like next year. Were you the one saying that you're kind of concerned that what you love about it's going to go away?
I mean, I think if Padma continues to be an executive producer, and she will be, she's no dummy. She's not going to walk away from all that money, but hopefully she has something to do with who they choose for the host.
I do too.
And I hope they just don't get too crazy. Sometimes they get like, okay, we have to have somebody, I don't know.
I don't want a progressive host. Just give me somebody who's a foodie.
And lately she's been, Padma, she's a huge advocate for women and minorities and all kinds of things. But lately she was recently on the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine.
She looked amazing.
And she has been saying over and over again, she goes, you could not pay me to go back to my 20s when I was a model and that body, my mind frame. She goes, I am loving being 50.
Oh,
loving it. She's like, I've never looked better. I've never felt better. And I agree. Yeah. As a person who's approaching that age.
Yes.
Just kidding. I'm already there. Yeah. Like I get it. So I'm like, you know what? She's so right. There are so many things about maturity that are fantastic. Yes, we hate getting older and looking older, but she doesn't.
Well, no, she doesn't. But you also have, there's just so many options now to basically bring out your inner beauty without looking like a real housewife.
So I'm hoping that because of that she doesn't feel the need to hire a 23-year-old.
I can't imagine.
I hope not.
I would hate that so much.
We would all hate it.
We would all hate it. Yeah. I just, like I said last time, I hope they pick somebody who really loves food, who is world traveled, who is sexy in their own way, whatever that is, because that is a part of food is sex. It is very important.
Well, it's the tie that binds.
It really is.
Yeah, it really does bind us all together in some way.
So I'm looking forward to the experiment that will be the host.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I mean, I imagine, I don't know how things go like this go, but
I don't either.
I hope that they've been planning for it. I hope the network knew about it.
I think
they've been thinking about it.
This is really the best season to go out on top of. Anyway, she gets to see everybody that she's ever worked with, and then walk out. Anyway, all right. Well, this has been a fun season, and when they come back, we will definitely do this again.
Cannot wait. So thank you so much for listening to the Ugly Truth version of Top Chef. Schwing!